Great. Thank you so much, Jamie. And for those of you, I see some familiar faces, but I would just request, if you can, let me see your face. This is a very welcoming space, very safe space, and I would love to interact with you as much as possible, even if we are in a virtual setting. So please, I encourage you to turn your camera on so I can see your lovely faces and so we can interact a bit more. With that said, I would love to welcome you to Botanical Beauty. This is a 3-part series that I'll be teaching, starting with part 1 today, cleansing for glowing skin. And because this is a 3-part series, this class will sort of lay the foundation of skin health and to understand from a natural beauty, clean beauty perspective, how botanicals can support your skin, but really setting the foundation for natural skincare. So what we are going to cover today, understanding your skin, understanding your skin's microbiome, understanding what your skin type is. We're going to go over some summer cleansing tips, specifically as we are diving into warmer weather here in Santa Cruz, California. And I see most of you are in the Bay Area. Temperatures have really risen, right? And we've been getting a lot more sunshine and warm weather, which means a lot more sunscreen. Well, I hope, right? And probably more you're more prone to sweating more so than usual. So we're going to talk a little bit about what I recommend in terms of cleansing, especially during the summer. And then if you are planning to do the facial steam activity with us today, go ahead and type that into the chat box so I have a sense of how many of you will be participating. That would be very helpful for Jamie and I to know. So we're going to take a quick break for that. So that you can heat up or boil your water, and then we will transition to the activity. Then we'll wrap up the session, the class, and with some Q&A and share with you a little bit about the 2 upcoming classes that I will be teaching next month as well as August. So I have a lot to share with you today. If you wouldn't mind holding any questions till the end, but if you have questions that are burning and you need to get them in, I have my eye on the chat box. So I would also encourage you to type any burning questions in the chat box, and I will probably be proposing or posing some questions to you as well, just to get folks engaged and really excited about botanical beauty. Okay, so really quickly, I would like to introduce myself, share a little bit about my background. I'm a certified clinical herbalist. I have a clinical practice, and I also offer holistic beauty coaching. So I work primarily with women who are dealing with digestive issues, skin issues, and really working on healing from a holistic health perspective. And with that, I also incorporate Reiki energy healing. I have been based in Oakland for a very long time. I moved to Santa Cruz last year, but I just really like to say that I'm, based in Oakland because a lot of my roots are, in Oakland. And my motto is that I love helping women amplify their natural beauty so they can look and feel their best. So this is a skincare class, but we are going to really be diving into the foundations of holistic beauty, right? So not just looking your best, but feeling your best. In addition to my coaching and clinical practice, I run a skincare brand. It's a conscious beauty brand called Free Flow Botanicals. And there I encourage my customers, clients, whomever, to really learn ways and strategies to enhance your natural beauty by introducing to you lovely skincare and self-love rituals. So I offer plant-based skincare products, which I make myself using herbs that I grow in my garden or source locally from farms all across California and Southern Oregon. And I also carry beautiful beauty tools, so gemstone beauty tools like wasa and facial rolling. Oops, why can I not advance? So quickly, my journey to clinical herbalism began began a few years ago. And this is a photo of me in 2008 when I was in my late 20s. And here I was, I think I was in Germany when this photo was taken, but I was at a really low point in my life. I was about to start a graduate school program that I ended up dropping out of. I had a lot of depression, anxiety, weight issues, skin issues, and really decided, that I needed to get out of this rut. So through practices around self-care like meditation, Reiki, and working with herbs and adopting healthy habits, I now am proud to say that I live with so much more energy, vitality as a clinical herbalist, and my goal is to really share some of that with you today and hopefully in the future. So along the way, I've coached, taught, and mentored over 100 students, sharing what the basic principles of herbalism, holistic health, and beauty are. I've taught on, in adult schools, I've taught at herbal centers, at local farms, just all over the Bay Area, and I love teaching. I'm really passionate about it, and so I'm really happy you're here with me today. So just a couple of disclaimers, just have to get this out of the way. Want to just share that I'm not a licensed medical doctor. So what I provide today is for educational purposes only. So it's not intended to replace conventional medical treatment or advice. If you are taking herbs or working with herbal remedies for the first time, and this might not so much apply to using herbs externally, but if you are working with herbs that you're not familiar with, please consult either a trained herbalist or your healthcare provider, because herbs, as magical and wonderful as they are, do have contraindications, especially if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or you're on prescription drugs. Oops. All right. So let's really kick things off with the foundations of botanical beauty. So the reason why we want to use botanicals or adopt a certain set of skincare rituals is important, but it doesn't really make sense unless we get to know our skin and understand how our skin works from a physiological perspective, how our skin supports us in every way. So quick introduction to the skin. This is part of the integumentary system, which also includes your hair, your nails, and your appendages. Your skin is a semi-permeable yet waterproof layer. So how amazing is that? Your skin is semi-permeable, meaning that if you put oils on your skin, if you put lotions or creams, your skin can absorb that. However, when you take a shower, your skin does not allow all the water coming from the shower to get absorbed from your body. If that were to happen, you would blow up like a balloon, and no one wants that. So your skin, semi-permeable, it protects you, but it also allows ingredients in, right, when you apply them topically. Really high level overview of some of what the skin does for us. It protects us. So I think of the skin as a very reflexive organ. It's the largest organ of our body. And it's really the interface between us and the environment, right? So it protects us from pathogens, from debris, physical objects. It really helps to serve us in a protective manner. Your skin covers about 22 square feet and weighs about 10 pounds. So if you take a moment to think about that, it's pretty remarkable. Our largest organ weighing 10 pounds and has varying degrees of thickness throughout the body. So in certain areas of our body, our skin is super thin, and in other areas, our skin is quite thick. So if you get a chance, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Where on your body might your skin be the thinnest? And if you would like to, please type that into the chat box if you have a guess. So where on your body might your skin be the thinnest? And where on your body might your skin be the thickest? Okay, so eyes, yes, absolutely. The eyelids, right? So the eyelids about, I think it's 0.05 millimeters. And then thickest, yep, soles of the feet, yep. So soles of the feet, elbows, knees can be, and around the back can be as thick as 5 millimeters. So this is a really intelligent organ, right? And most of us on the thickest areas of our bodies, we don't grow hair, right? So hair is really there to help protect us, to keep us warm, to regulate thermal body temperature. And surprisingly enough, most of us do not have hair on the thickest parts of our body. So our skin also contains just tons of sensory receptors, letting us know, is it cold outside? Is it warm outside? Are you frightened, right? The sensory receptors on your skin will even cause your muscles in your skin to pull, right? So to contract and pull, which is what we know of as goosebumps. Your skin synthesizes hormones. Type it in the chat box if you can tell me an important hormone that your skin synthesizes or makes. If you have a guess. Perfect. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is synthesized in your skin. It comes from the sun's rays, the UVB rays, and it gets converted and metabolized in your liver and kidneys. So the skin also is really important in the terms of processing and eliminating toxins or waste. Your skin, as I mentioned, helps to regulate your body's temperature through the sensory receptors. And then last but not least, your skin serves an important role in your immunity. Okay, so your skin, as I mentioned, one of the first lines of defense, acting as the interface between us and the environment. And just a little aside to that, I like to think of our skin as our outside gut and our gut as our inside skin. So a lot of what you put on your face will match what you put on your body in terms of how your skin is feeling and looking. So if you are putting a lot of good foods into your body, that will reflect in your skin, right? Because you are treating your inside skin or your gut with a lot of nutrients. Okay, so the skin plays a large role in the body's elimination process. So I'm thinking two ways of elimination. So one is through sweating, right? So we can shed pounds of toxic substances, metabolic waste that our bodies produce through the skin. So sweating is a really beautiful detoxification process, and it's managed all through the skin. Another way of eliminating is through sloughing off of dead skin cells. So as we will see in upcoming slides, your skin has distinct layers, and the topmost layer will shed dead skin cells, right? So this is a wonderful, beautiful, orchestrated system of elimination. And last but not least, the skin is a structurally flexible organ. So it allows you to bend and flex and move. However, you are still protecting your internal organs, your bones, your whole structure. So I have so much respect and love for the skin, and that's why I do what I do. All right. Okay, so a little bit of skin physiology. I'm not going to go too into detail, but I wanted to share this with you because this is very important. This is almost crucial to understanding why we use certain products and why we want to avoid using certain products. So as I mentioned, most of the body is covered by skin, and that's considered thin with certain exceptions: knees, soles of the feet, elbows. And there are three distinct important layers here that I want to bring your attention to. The topmost layer is the epidermis. This is made of squamous cells, so there is not too much going on here. This layer is what I mentioned as the layer that sloughs off dead skin cells, right? So the epidermal layer also contains melanocytes, which is what gives your skin the pigment. And for those of us who are fair skin, we tend to have less melanocytes, and darker skin folks tend to have more melanocytes, which can serve a really important function in filtering out UV rays, right? So we are generally, the darker skin folks are generally less likely to get burned, but that is not always the case, right? So, but that's a general rule of thumb. So what I'm so interested in is this second layer here, the middle layer called the dermis. This is what many dermatologists, researchers can consider the true skin layer, because there is so much activity going on in the dermis. We've got muscles, we've got hair follicles, we've got sebaceous or oil glands, which gives our skin the luster and the lubrication that it needs. We've got blood vessels, right? So what we eat, the nutrients that we get from our food are transported along these blood vessels, and they can help to feed the skin cells of our topmost layer, the epidermis, which can give your skin luster and smoothness versus dullness and flakiness or even dry skin. So what we eat has a huge impact on how our skin not only looks but feels. Then we've got the hypodermis. This I would not consider a part of the skin layer, but it's important in the skin organ because the hypodermis is a layer of fat underneath the skin, and it is what cushions our important organs. It helps us retain heat, and the hypodermis, or the layer of fat, can range depending on genetics or diet or lifestyle, right? And most of us, especially women, tend to develop a thicker hypodermis or more adipose tissue around the abdominal region. So just want to call out these three important layers before I jump into the skin glands. So the sebaceous glands, which are located in that middle layer, the dermis, these glands secrete oil for both our hair, so that's what helps lubricate our scalp, as well as our skin. And they're usually attached to hair follicles, at least 2 glands for each hair follicle. And this also can be influenced by genetics. This also can be influenced by age. This also can be influenced by diet, research has shown. So some of us may have a lot of sebaceous glands and tend to just naturally produce more oil, especially, when I was younger, I used to break out on my back a lot. And my esthetician told me that I had huge pores on my back. And because I had so many sebaceous glands, I had lots of big, giant pores, and I would always break out on my back. And through small changes, I realized that having large pores on my back was not genetic, at least for me, and I was able to shrink the pores through certain skincare practices. So the sebaceous glands, it's really important to know that they produce sebum, which is that oil that lubricates your skin. And this is found in mammalian skin, so you're not going to have this oily substance on reptilian skin. And when your sebum mixes with sweat, so all of us perspire, whether or not we are aware of it, but I'm sure in the summertime, especially, if it's like 70 or 80 plus, you are going to sweat. Even I'm sweating just sitting here in my office. When the sebum mixes with sweat, that is called the acid mantle. And the acid mantle is a fine, very fine, slightly acidic film that you can't really see, but it sits atop your skin. And this acid mantle generally has a pH of about 4.5 to 5.5. So I just want you to keep that in mind. The acid mantle sits on your skin and has a pH that tends to be more acidic, hence the name acid mantle. So we're going to go over your skin's microbiome. So if you've heard of the gut microbiome, and remember I said that I tend to refer to our skin as our outside gut, well, On your skin exists a whole ecosystem of trillions of bacteria, viruses, fungi, and other microorganisms. And this microbiome supports not only your skin, but also your overall health by supporting your immune system. So there are bacteria and microorganisms that live on your skin that can actually communicate with your cells inside your body. So there's a very intelligent crosstalk, right? And so it can actually communicate with immune cells, and also your cells of your gut microbiome. It can protect you against infections and also harmful UV rays, and it can also help with reducing general inflammation. So your skin microbiome, which consists of that acid mantle, it thrives in an acidic environment. And this is a really important point because it's this acidic environment that helps prevent the growth of harmful pathogens. So one harmful pathogen that comes to mind is Staphylococcus. And if any of you have had a staph infection on your skin, it's not necessarily that you started growing Staphylococcus. Staphylococcus aureus is a type of bacteria that actually lives on our skin. So we all have it on our skin. And with healthy skin, that makes it impermeable to harmful pathogens and bacteria like Staphylococcus. But if our skin barrier or acid mantle is disrupted and impaired, it can cause bacteria and opportunists like Staphylococcus to invade and create an infection. So what happens when our barrier is disrupted? We get opportunistic bacteria like Staphylococcus. We may experience inflammation in the skin, which can result in acne, so acne vulgaris. It can result in dermatitis, eczema, rosacea, because the skin barrier is impaired, and also it has likely something to do with what's going on inside you in your body. So what disrupts your skin's microbiome? Your diet. So I talked a lot about the importance of eating nutrient-rich, dense foods so that you're supporting your skin from the inside out, because your diet actually has an indirect effect on your skin microbiome because of that crosstalk between your gut bacteria and then your skin bacteria. Your lifestyle, right? So your lifestyle is a huge factor when it comes to either supporting or disrupting your skin's microbiome. So excessive use of antimicrobial soap and hand sanitizers. I'm laughing because last year when the pandemic first started, I was making hand sanitizers to sell because there was a shortage everywhere. And I was testing them on my hands every day. And within 3 weeks, I started just having reactions, right? Because I was just excessively using these hand sanitizers, which were alcohol based. And so that can degrade the skin barrier, that can cause irritation and inflammation. Modern day skincare routines. So when I say modern day, it's because when I go on a skincare blog, or if I go to a drugstore, it's overwhelming, right? It's overwhelming to see so many products on the shelves, and you hear, an influencer on social media, or you might see a magazine, or your friend might recommend a product and they swear by it. It's a miracle product. And so you might try it and maybe it doesn't work, or maybe it works, and you might try something else because someone else raved about it. So the modern day skincare routine phenomenon is just so many products out there, so many choices. What do we use? What works for us? And I'm here to tell you, as a clinical herbalist and skincare formula, that I like going back to the basics, right? I really appreciate going back to the basics. And then you can start adding in and layering products as you see fit. So the primary culprit of a disrupted skin microbiome. Overwashing, cleansing, over exfoliating. So if you are guilty of that or have been guilty of that, let me know in the chat box. I definitely have been. In my 20s. I thought squeaky clean was the way to go. So I would wash my face like 4 or 5 times a day, thinking that it would make my excess oil go away, because in my early 20s, I had a lot of acne and irritated skin. And I learned later on that was because of overwashing, over cleansing, and over exfoliating. And then also an important point, using the wrong type of cleanser. So using a cleanser is very important. Are you using a bar soap? Are you using a foaming cleanser? That is great, but oftentimes commercially based products that are in the form of cleansers have a more alkaline pH. So the pH tends to be higher and raise your skin's natural pH, which is happiest, right? Around 4.5 to 5.5. So this is more of an acidic environment. So it creates a pH imbalance. And a pH imbalance can make your skin more permeable to invasion of bacteria or pathogens. Okay, how am I doing on time? All right, better speed things up a little bit. So what's your skin type? I am going to send out, or Jamie is going to send out on my behalf, a handout for this class. And I basically put together a guide that helps you understand what your skin type is, and how, if you don't already know your skin type, how to detect your skin type through several methods. So before I share a little bit more about that, there are many factors that influence your skin type. Your age, right? So as we age in general, our body tends to produce less structural proteins, right? Like collagen, elastin, that gives our skin that plumpness, that fullness. So as we age, our skin tends to sag a little, tends to get drier, tends to be more mature. The season, right? So the season obviously can affect your skin. Especially if you live in the northern hemisphere, I think most of you do. And knowing to be able to adapt your skin's needs and your skincare products that you use, but based on the season. Geographical location, right? So are you living in a very dry climate? Are you living in a very humid climate? Is your skin naturally oily? And if you're living in a humid climate and your skin is naturally oily, you don't want to be putting on very thick moisturizers or emollients. That's just going to clog up your pores even more. So where you are in the world is a huge factor in determining your skin type. Your diet influences your skin type, as well as your cosmetics and skincare products, right? So the products you choose really do have an impact on how your skin behaves. So the main takeaway from this slide is understanding that there are a variety of factors influencing your skin type, and your skin can change by season, by where you are, by the foods you eat, and by how you're taking care of your skin. So if you do know your skin type, great. If you do know your skin type, just keep in mind that your skin type can change, right? It's like a fluid thing, right? It's not set in stone. But 2 of my favorite methods for determining skin type, or helping someone you know determine their skin type, is 1, the bare naked method. So this is where you perform your regular morning skincare routine, whether you're splashing just water on your face and then moisturizing. And then in the afternoon, take a look in the mirror and notice what you see or feel on your skin, right? So for me, I tend to have combination skin, especially in the summertime. So by the time the afternoon rolls around, I notice a bit of sheen on my T-zone, right, around my nose. And I find myself just kind of blotting that away. So if you get a chance, please type into the chat box what your skin type is. Or if you have no idea, I just love to take a quick poll to see who knows their skin type, what it is. And yeah, if you don't know, that's okay. So dry, combination, so dry, yes. Definitely winter time, that was me. And then combination, okay. Yeah, so we've got all different types of skin types across the board. Okay, sensitive, perfect. Yeah, so sensitive, and you can be combination and sensitive. You can be dry and sensitive. Okay, so my skin is oily combination. Once I wash it, it's on the drier side. So Sally, thank you for raising that. That's a really important point you bring up. So I'm going to get to that point in just the slide. All right, so yes, and then dry now that I move to the foothill. So you are a perfect example, Jamie, of how geographical location influences your skin. The second method is the wash test. So you wash your face in the morning, you just wash it. You don't put on anything else, no toner, serum, or moisturizer. And then you take a look in the mirror a few minutes later and notice what you see or feel. So this is a more a condensed or sped up version of the bare naked method, right? You're just taking a look and just observing how your face is feeling, right? So are you producing oil already? Is your face feeling really tight and taut and uncomfortable? So just notice and observe. And in the handout that's getting sent out after the class, I will have a guide to the major skin types and common characteristics of the skin types, and also what my recommendations are in terms of a beauty skincare ritual and herbal allies. So that's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get into that more. And then just a heads up, for the rest of this series, that skincare guide is going to be sent out because we're going to build along upon the knowledge and information that has been shared throughout the courses. Okay, so quick note on summer cleansing. Are you breaking out more than usual? Right? So are you sweating more than usual? Are you breaking out more than usual? Are you noticing that maybe you're not able to get sunscreen off as easily, right? Maybe you're a fan of mineral-based sunscreen, which is a physical sunscreen that relies on zinc oxide that physically sits atop your skin. Whether you use a mineral base, which is a physical sunscreen, or a chemical sunscreen, most of them are water resistant or waterproof. So what does that mean in terms of cleansing? It means that if you're using a bar soap or water-based cleanser, that is likely not going to wash off your sunscreen, right? Because your sunscreen is water resistant or waterproof. How are you going to get it off if with a water-based cleanser like your regular foaming cleanser? And that is why in this case, I recommend using an oil-based cleanser. So oils do a really good job of breaking down a lot of types of makeup, sunscreen, and then foaming cleansers tend to do a bit of a better job with, dirt, and debris that end up on your skin. So highly recommend looking into oil cleansing, and I'm always happy to answer questions about that. So sunscreen, Roby says, sunscreen breaks me out in a rash on the areas that I use it. Yeah, it sounds like you have sensitive skin and you might want to look into a different sunscreen. So if you are breaking out more than usual, especially in the summertime, because we're more prone to sweating, we're putting on sunscreen that may not easily get washed off, how do you prevent or minimize clogged pores, which end up as acne? So you want to exfoliate regularly. So regular exfoliation is key. I like to use a combination of a physical and chemical exfoliant. So physical is using the beads. I think, Chantel, you mentioned that you use a physical exfoliant with some salicylic acid and microbeads. So that's really good. So you want to exfoliate regularly so that you are not risking the dead skin cells mixing up with your with the dirt and the sweat and the sunscreen and the excess oils, which can clog your pores. And you also want to look into deep cleansing, which is what facial steaming is all about. So I'm really excited to share a little bit more about facial steaming. So what frequency is regularly? And I assume you're talking about exfoliation, Chantel. You can just nod or shake your head. Yeah, so it depends on your skin type. It depends what kind of exfoliant you use. It depends how active you are. There are so many different factors, and that skin type guide will actually help answer a lot of the questions. But generally speaking, 1 to 3 times a week you don't want to over exfoliate. I would consider 1 time a day for exfoliation maybe a little too much. It might work for you, but that's just my personal belief. Okay, so I'm not sure if anyone was planning to do the facial steam. I don't think anyone typed it in. Is anyone planning to do the facial steam? Can you type it in the chat box so it'll help me just plan the rest of our time together? No. Okay. Were we supposed to purchase something to do so? No. Okay, my apologies. I thought the I don't know, purchase list was sent out, but if you want to do a facial steam and you have the capacity to do that, all you need is a large metal or glass bowl. Let me just, I think I have the ingredients on here for prep. Okay, so all you would need is hot water, a large glass or metal bowl, or if you don't have one, you can use a pot, and you would need a large towel. So if you are interested in that, so it doesn't seem like is anyone interested in doing a facial steam with me? I like to watch. Okay, okay, got it. All right. Okay, most folks are doing it later, so I will just demonstrate. Okay, I do it at night for my asthma. How hot should the water be? So I like to use water that I've just boiled in my electric kettle. Um, I want to, but don't know what herbs to use, but I have some essential oils on hand. Perfect. Essential oils are optional. Chantel, if you want to use a drop or two of essential oil, that would be wonderful. If you want to do a facial steam together and you don't have herbs, you don't have essential oils, you can just steam with straight water just to get that experience, right? Because I want to help create a self-care, self-love ritual with you all tonight. And even just steaming with water is better than nothing. Okay, so why don't we take a like a 3-minute break so I can set up. And for those of you who are interested in steaming, just get some hot water and get your ingredients, your essential oils, whatever you want. Just even get plain water. And I'll see you at 6:44. Okay, I'm back a minute early. I'm just going to answer some questions. I want to, okay, I already covered that. How often should you steam? I would say for a facial steam, once a week would be good. I have some herbs for tea. Are there any that are particularly nice for facial steaming? Mrs. Pezzino, if you have a chamomile tea bag on hand, that would be wonderful because chamomile has plenty of volatile oils that can really help to support your skin.
Hey Patty, it's Mel here. How are you?
Good. How are you, Mel?
Good. I just wanted to jump on real quick. I've been watching, but I just wanted to let everyone know that whenever you register, it's really important that you look at the entire confirmation that's sent, because when you get your confirmation sent, um, you'll log on and it'll be like, you've got tickets, yay! And then it'll show you, the flyer. If you scroll down, which a lot of us tend to check out, additional information is where anything you need to know for any of our classes will be put. So that way you can come to class, and if you want to cook or you want to steam or you want to do whatever, you'll know what to bring and what to be prepared with.
Thank you for that reminder, Mel. And can everyone see my screen? I'm on my laptop now. Mel, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, perfect.
You're flipping through your
Yes.
slide.
Okay, perfect. All right, I have a very tiny laptop screen, so I just want to make sure. Okay, so we are, or I'm going to demonstrate facial steaming. And for those of you who are going to join me, I'm very excited. So facial steaming, I mentioned, it is really beneficial for a deeper cleanse, right? This is beyond exfoliating. It's beyond cleansing with your daily cleanser, because steam, especially when infused with botanicals, will help to open up your pores, and you will also be getting the benefits of many of these botanicals. So essential oils are essentially powered by steam, right? So that's how they're created. And they contain so many potent properties like antibacterial properties, anti-inflammatory properties. They're full of volatile oils, especially if you work with herbs from the mint family. I've got a bunch of fresh lemon balm that I just picked from my garden that I plan to use in my steam. So there are a variety of herbs, and these are all on the skincare guide, which I can just briefly go over. But you can also reference that. So when you decide to use your steam tonight, you will find some of these common herbs. So facial steaming is very supportive and hydrating to the skin, right? Because you are essentially moisturizing your skin. The heat causes increased circulation. So increased blood flow and circulation helps your skin get fresh oxygen, fresh nutrients, and also helps to detoxify, right? Because you're improving circulation, not only of blood, but also of lymph. Steaming also helps you shed dead skin cells. So an additional layer atop of exfoliating, you get that sloughing off of dead skin cells. And last but not least, it's super calming to the nervous system. So I love just, hitting two birds with one stone, beautifying my skin through a self-love ritual, but also entering that parasympathetic or rest and digest state, right? Of using steam enhanced with herbal volatile oils to bring me back into a grounded state. Just want to quickly note that I would not recommend steaming if you have extremely sensitive reactive skin. If you have severe inflammation, like very active acne or rosacea that tends to be exacerbated by anything hot, if you have an active skin infection, if you have a sunburn or windburn skin or visibly broken small capillaries. So this is when your skin is already a bit impaired. So please wait until your skin barrier is strong enough again so you can perform a facial steam. Okay, so I talked about this. And then this is really quickly the skin type guide that will be going out. It's a very comprehensive guide where I cover various skin types. I talk about the different herbal products. that can be used, which will be also covered in classes 2 and 3. And I also talk about some herbal allies. So, lemon balm and lavender, comfrey, marshmallow, oats, peppermint, rosemary are all wonderful and very beneficial no matter what your skin type is. So take a look at these herbal allies if you are going to steam tonight. And if you have any of this, great. So I just picked some calendula from my garden as well that I'm going to put into my steam. I've got some sage here, which is very astringent. And sage is also wonderful, especially in the fall. If you have, congestion or a cough and you just have gunk that you want to get out of your lungs, sage is wonderful to steam with, especially fresh sage. And this is just very common fresh garden sage. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen. Can you all see me? I'm not really sure how the screen's divided up. Perfect. Okay, so I've got my hot water. I've got a bowl. I'm actually gonna angle this down a little bit. And before I do that, I'm actually gonna put my herbs in here. And you will all get the recipe for my facial steam, which you can customize to your needs at the end of class. So that will get sent out. I'm gonna add some lemon balm. So when you're working with fresh herbs, you wanna make sure to break them up. So by breaking them up, you're helping to release the volatile oils and the chemical constituents that can help beautify your skin and really help to scoop out and clear out a lot of the gunk that's in your pores. So by giving your pores a deep clean, you minimize the risk of pores getting clogged with debris or dirt or excess oil. Okay, and I'm gonna throw some calendula flowers in here as well. So this is really, up to you. You can see I've got my large bowl here with a bunch of fresh herbs. You can drop in a couple drops of essential oils. Just please keep in mind, essential oils are extremely potent and strong. So 1 to 2 drops, no more. Okay, now I'm gonna add my hot water. Okay, and then the important thing is to have a large towel on hand. So you can see here, I love it, Chantal, you're joining me, and I'm happy if anyone else is joining me as well. So what you wanna do is you wanna place your face over this large bowl of hot water, because I can feel the steam rising, but you don't want the steam to escape. You want the steam to hit your skin. You want to place your face, so I'm going to drape this over. You want to place your face about 10 inches above the bowl. You don't want to put it too close because that steam can be quite intense. Okay, so I'm doing it now, so obviously you can't see my face anymore, but you want to, at this point, just close your eyes. You want to relax into this space. Right? So for me, this is even sort of like a meditative space where I can just, block away everything around me. This is my personal safe space, my little haven, just me and my botanical buddies hanging out, them supporting my skin. And you want to just take gentle breaths, right? Because that steam is also incredibly supportive for your lungs. It's getting quite warm in here. I'm actually starting to sweat, which, as we learned earlier, it's a great form of detoxification, elimination. It's one of the most powerful forms of elimination. And just closing your eyes, gentle breathing, really taking in the aroma of the botanicals or the essential oils that you put in. Or if you're using just plain hot water, just really appreciating what the steam is doing for you right now. Okay. Usually I would do this for about 3 to 5 minutes. If the steam feels too hot, take a break or let the water cool down a little. It should feel comfortably warm, but not too hot. If it's too hot, please stop. Please take a break. I don't want you to burn your face with steam, but it should feel comfortable. And for those, I'm going to keep going, but for those of you who are steaming, please feel free to steam, enjoy your steam, and I will continue on. Okay. So I think we are almost at the top of the hour. Is that right, Jamie, Mel? Okay, I can't see the clock in front of me.
Yes, you're about 5 till.
Okay, perfect. I will just breeze through the rest of this. And then again, if you are still steaming, please continue to enjoy your steam. I just want to wrap things up and share that I am teaching Botanical Beauty Part 2, which is exfoliating for glowing skin, in July. You can register at banyanwomen.org. And then part 3 is going to be in mid-August, which is Detoxify for glowing skin. So for part 2, we are going to make a body scrub together. It's so fun, so supportive for your skin, and really fun and easy to make. And then in part 3, we are going to make a facial mask together. And I would love for you to come and attend these classes, bring your friends, tell your friends about them. It's just a really fun self-care, self-love skincare party. Some additional resource that I want to share. I offer personalized coaching. I teach community classes. I run a community called the Holistic Beauty Collective. If you're interested in learning more, please DM me for details. I also have free resources. So I have a lot of blog posts on facial steaming, on gua sha massage, holistic beauty tips and support for skin and beyond. So you can check out my Instagram at pattyliu_ for all things holistic beauty related or herbal medicine related. You can also check out my Instagram at Free Flow Botanicals, which is all my skincare products and beauty tools. I offer free 20-minute beauty coaching sessions. So if you have a question about your skin health or any question about your mood or energy levels, please feel free to reach out to me. And if you want to learn more about skincare products that can support your skin or choosing products for your skin, I'm happy to help you out. So just go ahead and DM me. And if you are interested in plant-based skincare products and want to browse my shop at Free Flow Botanicals, I'm offering a 15% off code, which is Banyan15. So I don't believe I set an expiration date for this. So I hope you will take advantage of this offer. And I just want to say thank you so much for attending today. It's been a pleasure sharing my passion around holistic beauty and botanical beauty with you. And I hope to see you all next month. And I'll turn it over to you, Mel, or you, Jamie. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Patty. That was a wonderful class. I learned so much. I can't wait to go. I'm gonna go do the steam. I'm gonna try and get my mom to do it with me too.
Lovely.
So I just dropped, I was trying to pin my video, but I guess I can't. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hi. Hello. I just dropped a little note in the chat. So make sure you guys take a look at that so that you know your options for supporting our nonprofit. We have a few different options. You can either donate directly using our link right there, banyanwomen.org/donate. Or if you shop on Amazon, which I know you probably do, pretty much everyone does, make sure that you're shopping at smile.amazon and you connect your smile.amazon account to Banyan Tree Women's Collective located in Menlo Park. And then another great way is, of course, sharing. It's very, very important that you all spread the word. Maybe invite somebody to the next class. And also make sure, yes, sign up for Patty's next classes. I will be signing up for sure. Thank you so much for joining. Got lots of thank yous in the chat.
And I wanted to